contacting the air warden. He's flying way high up in the sky, keeping a bird's eye view on the 800 square miles of the reserve. I just hope he's in range. Let me check. Air warden, this is Simba 1. Do you copy? Well, it looks like the warden is not in range, so I'm just going to have to leave him a message. Air warden, this is Simba 1 entering the reserve at Little Ituri Forest. Now you folks are want to keep your eyes open, because here in the forest the animals are good at one thing, and that is hiding. So keep your eyes open. It looks like there's a brown animal off to the right with black and white pants on. That's an okapi. Okapis are very shy and reclusive animals, not being discovered by Westerners until 1901. And thanks to those stripes on their legs, many people think that they're related to zebras, but they're actually the closest relative to giraffes.
Zebras? I know.
And those are the okapi. Now you folks will look above you. There is an animal spotting guide. This will help you identify some of the animals we might see out here on our safari. Looks like at the watering hole there are some yellow-billed stork. Those are those white animals with the black tip feathers. And it looks like there's also a black rhino visiting the watering hole today. Those yellow-billed stork are carnivorous birds that like to eat fish, lizards, frogs, and snakes. And sometimes if they're really hungry, they'll even eat other small birds. Oh wow, there's 2 black rhinos over here. Black rhinos weigh about 3,000 pounds, can charge approximately 35 miles per hour, and they are practically indestructible with their 1-inch thick hide. Sadly, though they aren't completely indestructible, thanks to their only known predator, which is man. Now humans have poached these beautiful creatures nearly to extinction. There's just under 5,000 of them left in the wild. Now I'm going to be making stops throughout the reserve, just like that last one. These stops are only going to be for about 5 seconds each. It's just enough time for 1 or 2 photos. You don't want to hesitate taking your photos. This way you want to put your cameras on a sport or action setting. My best advice to you is as soon as you see an animal, just quickly take a picture. Unfortunately, I can't stop for every animal, but they will come out of the water usually at night when it's a lot cooler, so that way they can feed on the grass that grows on the banks. Now those hippos will eat about 150 pounds of grass in a single night, and that's just for one of those hippos. Feedback pelicans live in colonies, and they'll work together to herd fish into the shallows, so that way they can feed on it. On this bridge, those Nile crocodiles are 100% real, so everyone has to stay seated, including little ones. Do not lift little ones so they can see, because those Nile crocodiles are 100% real and they're beasts. They are much larger and much more aggressive than American alligators, and they have a bite pressure of 1,200 square pounds. That means anything that falls into their mouth. They tend to dive into the water. A couple reticulated giraffes over here. There's one in the palm trees over to the right, and also one off to the left, straight ahead of us. Those reticulated giraffes are the tallest animals on Earth, standing 18 to 20 feet tall. And again, you can tell it's a reticulated giraffe because of its coat. It has a very even net-like pattern to its coat. And believe it or not, these giraffes only sleep for 30 minutes a day. And not all at once. That's GNU after a sound that they make. Now about 1.5 million of those new will migrate. They get their pink coloring from the brine shrimp that they eat, which is very high in beta-carotene. Now that's the chemical in their food that will turn their feathers pink. The gray birds on the island, they are the chicks of the flock. It takes just over a year for those chicks to lose their gray feathers and for their pink ones to grow in. A wonderful comeback thanks to conservation efforts and anti-poaching laws. Now these white rhinos are much larger than their black rhino cousins. They weigh about 4,000 to 5,000 pounds. And it looks like they're a little dirty right now because they're a little covered in mud. But even on their cleanest day, they are never gonna be white. They actually get their name from a mispronunciation. They're white rhinos. Bite is an Afrikaans word which means wide or broad, in reference to their mouth, not their color, because they're not white. They're more of a grayish, brownish color. I guess that doesn't really roll the tongue very well.
Simba 1, I see you at the junction. I suggest you go west. It will be worth it.
Alright, well, so we'll head in that direction. Wonder we see state hunters because they have excellent eyesight. Oh wow, we'll go on the Kofi over here. The white ones with the tan on their throat, they are scimitar horned oryx. The Bontebok are actually extinct in the wild. You can only find them on reserves like Harambe.
You see the tail?
Now those scimitar horned oryx there, their horns grow to about 42 inches in length. The manatee eat the green grass that grows here. So they get the rest of the water that they need to survive. See if I can pull around. Oh yeah, that's a good picture. That's a good view. It's gonna be cool by attics. They're all over the place. It looks like there's a couple of ostrich hanging out in this area too. Ostrich are the largest of the birds. They have wings, but they can't fly. But they can still run pretty fast. So we're gonna let these attics cross the road. Or maybe not. Now these ostriches also lay the largest of the bird eggs. Their eggs weigh about 3 pounds each, and they're strong because they just lay them out in the open. They're so strong that an adult can stand on top of one of them and it wouldn't break. Oh, well, you're very welcome there, Wilson.
I have to go now. We have to get this baby elephant back to its mother.
Well, it seems like those poachers got us off our scheduled trek. So I'm going to have to drop you folks off at the nearest boarding post. But from there, it's just a short walk back to Harambe village. I'd just like to say Asante Sana, that's Swahili for thank you. And I do want to thank you folks for helping me protect the wildlife here in my home of Africa. And just remember, wherever you are, you can do your part to conserve the wildlife and natural habitats in your own homes. Now, as we pull up to the warden's post, please check the net bags at your feet as well as your seat.